Hello children, how are you all? Hope all you are fine. And for class 4 children, in the last class I have completed the explanation of the lesson, the Western Desert. So today I am going to make you to do textual reading. Yes, now all of them open page number 214, 214. Here, the land to the west of the Aravalli Hills in Rajasthan is rocky and sandy. This is the Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar Desert. Okay, it stretches from the Rann of Kutch in Gujarat through Rajasthan to the borders of Haryana. The land. So these Western Desert is in Aravalli Hills, that is in Rajasthan. So it is rocky and sandy. This is the Great Indian Desert. We call this desert as Great Indian Desert or Thar Desert. Okay, it stretches from Rann of Kutch in Gujarat through Rajasthan to the borders of Haryana. Next, the land. The Thar Desert is covered with thick sheet of loose sand at some places. There are small hills of sand called sand dunes. Underline the word sand dunes. Sometimes strong winds which blow here carry a large amount of sand with them. They can shift the sand dunes. There are very few streams in the Thar Desert. They mostly remain dry. Luni is the most important river. At some places, oases are found. The land around the oasis is fertile. People grow crops here. Thus, most villages are situated around an oasis. Indian bustard oasis. So here children, if you see the picture, you will be understanding this is oasis. We call this as oasis. So the land beside this oasis, so oasis means filled with water. So the land beside to this, okay, so is very fertile, so that people can grow the agricultural fields, and mostly people will also live beside to this oasis. Okay, next. Climate. The Thar Desert remains hot and dry throughout the year. There is very little or no rainfall. In summer, days are very hot and nights are cool. In winter, days are warm and nights are very cold. Yes, so the climate in the Thar Desert is very hot and dry. Throughout the year, it is very hot and dry. There is very little or no rainfall. Yes, so in this Thar Desert there is no rainfall. Yes, very little. If it is also very little, and mostly we can say there will be no rainfall. In summer days are very hot and nights are cool. So in the summer time, the climate of the Thar Desert is daytime it used to be like hot, and night times it is cool. In winter days are warm and the nights are very cold. Next, natural vegetation. A hot and dry climate means that mostly scattered bushes and thorny shrubs grow here. So here, natural vegetation of this Thar Desert is it's very hot and dry climate. So means mostly scattered bushes and thorny shrubs grow here. So here thorny shrubs are going to grow. Okay, bushes and thorny shrubs are going to grow here. Yes, next here the khijri, kikar and babul trees grow in the eastern part of the desert. So what used to grow here? Khijri, kikar and babul trees grow in the eastern part of the desert. Animals such as camels, black bucks, chinkards and great Indian bustards are found in this region. So animals such as camels, bullock carts, chinkards and great Indian bustards are found in this region. Okay, the camel is the most useful animal. Can you tell why? So why the camel is most useful animal in the desert area? Because only camel can live without water for a long time. Okay, so once it consumes the water, it can store for many days. Okay, so camel can store water in that body for many days. Okay, so with that, so camel can survive in the desert. So that is the reason mostly people use camels in the desert. Yes, next, water supply. There is always very little water. Village women walk long distance to fetch water. The state government is trying to provide water for domestic use and irrigation. Water from river Satluj has been brought to the desert through the Indira Gandhi Canal. Farmers can thus grow wheat, mustard and cotton. Yes, there is always very little rainfall. Yes, so always in the desert area, already before Pera we have learned that very little rainfall. In the desert area, there will be a very little rainfall. Village women walk long distance to fetch water. So to fetch water, women used to go for a long distance. Okay, next, the state government is trying to provide water for domestic use and irrigation. So, presently the state government of Rajasthan, yes, the state government means Rajasthan state, is trying to provide water for domestic use and irrigation. Water from river Satluj has been brought to the desert through the Indira Gandhi Canal. Water from the river Satluj has been brought to the desert through the Indira Gandhi Canal. Okay, next, farmers can thus grow wheat, mustard and cotton. Okay, so by the help of this water, farmers can grow wheat, mustard and cotton. Okay, next, turn the page. Occupations. So people who are living in the desert area, people mostly rear sheep, goat, camel and cattle. Some of them also practice agriculture. Yes, so people living in this region, people living this area, there's the main occupation of that people is sheep rear, goat, camel and cattle. Some of them also practice agriculture. They grow bajra, jowar, maize, sesame and groundnut. Some people also travel from one place to another in search of food for themselves and their animals. Such people are called Banjaras. Life in the Tara desert is very difficult. So the people who are going to move in search of food, people used to travel from one place to another. So along with their animals. So such people are called as Banjaras. Yes, life in the Tara desert is very difficult. Next, houses. Most houses have a flat roof and few small windows. Okay, the walls are thick to keep the heat out so that the houses remain cool. Some houses have underground tanks to store rainwater. Such tanks are called tankas. So here the houses having flat roofs. Top of the house, it is a flat roof and a few small windows. It has small windows. The walls are thick to keep the heat out so that the houses remain cool. Some houses have underground tanks to store rainwater. Some houses have underground tanks to store rainwater. Such tanks are called tankas. So here if you see the picture of tanka, this is the picture of tanka. Next, lifestyle. Women in villages wear gagra. Women in villages wear gagra, choli and odhini. Men wear dhoti, kurta and turban. People love to eat dal bati, churma. They celebrate Gangru and teach Gumar and Kalbilia. Yes, So these are the festivals which they celebrate. Gangar and Teej Gumar and Kalbilia are popular folk dances. So these are the popular folk dances they celebrate. Okay, so they celebrate Gangri and Teej, and Gumar and Kalbilia are popular folk dances. Okay. See here, the woman wearing gagra choli, and this dress they use for the folk dance kalbilia. So while doing the dance, traditional folk dance these dance they used to wear this type of dress. The dance is kalbilia. Okay, next, major cities: Jaipur, Udaipur, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer and Baikarnar are some big cities. Jaipur is called the Pink City. It is famous for blue pottery. It is famous for blue pottery. A large number of tourists from all over the world visit Rajasthan every year. Okay, so the large number of tourists from all over the world visit Rajasthan every year. Okay, so Pink City is a famous city in this place. So it is in Jaipur. Pink City is in Jaipur. Okay, so Jaipur is also called to be as Pink City. Yes, so this is all about today's class, children, and all of them open textbook and point the pencil where I am reading and read once again. Okay, see you in the next class, children.